On the subject of innovation, one of the patterns we have identified is this. In science and innovative networks, many experts argue that the needed solutions for the colossal problems we face are available today. However, they get stuck in the system by default. Key questions have become: where is the listening to what innovators really need to get the highest impact innovations through the system? Where are the innovation and research processes based on Einstein-Newton-Darwin practices and the problem-solving practices of individuals like Steve Jobs and Jacinda Ardern? Where's the support and funding for non-technical innovation? With extensive experiences in this field, let's get to the bottom of this matter. Let's start by looking at how innovation works today. Today's innovation processes are typically based on the linear process model and designed for in-the-box innovations. When innovations are in line with these characteristics, innovators are welcome and can receive needed support. But there are complications, like technical innovations only, more of the same in a different look and feel, marginal improvements, symptom treatment, and high innovation failure rates. Dramatic consequences have become huge budgets locked into foreseeable failure as innovations conflict with relevant laws of nature, miss out on the same root causes other innovators get hit by, the same lessons are lost and relearned again and again. And another consequence is no resources and funding left for high to highest impact innovations. Let's move on to what real innovation is supposed to be about. In part 3.2, we have already identified such an example. With the exact and in-the-box practices, the phone industry was trying to reinvent the phone step by step. Steve Jobs ignored the standard innovation process and the smartphone was born. But then, how many others have the drive, skills and position Steve Jobs had? Where are the innovation processes that match the positive characteristics Steve Jobs applied? Where are the funders who adjust the requirements for the characteristics of Steve Jobs' innovation process? Whatever the situation, let's now look at today's innovation processes for high to highest impact innovations. Sooner or later, innovators need support and funding. With the lean startup best practice and funding requirements, proof has to be provided in small steps. The trouble is that high to highest impact innovations to complex problems rarely fit this requirement. It leads to this unavoidable question: can you adjust your innovation to fit our processes? Well, this question is against the very nature of what true innovation is supposed to be about. Those who try may give up as it is impossible to provide proof in small steps, or the conditions are out of line with the innovator's contributions. May need to reduce the value possibility to a small percentage, may be required to change root cause treatment into symptom treatment, get stuck in the system and risk the innovation being banned as a failure, waste resources and risk their health through ongoing firefighting and extreme stress. Here we have further root causes of the highest damage. We need solvable root causes. Further tweaking and twisting the existing innovation processes is unlikely to make a difference. This situation leads to two root causes standing out. Innovation process for innovations beyond the level 1 tipping point of complexity is missing. Non-technical, high to highest impact innovations receive no support and funding by default. In other words, we need a complementary innovation process. It needs to be designed for unleashing high to highest impact innovations at both technical and non-technical innovations. Let's call this the open innovation process and the existing one the exact innovation process. Let's also add non-technical innovation to the exact innovation process. The good news is that when innovation budgets are available, the open innovation process may not require an additional budget. Instead, budgets locked in foreseeable innovation failure can be freed. Moving 30% of existing innovation budgets to open innovation should be a good starting position. In the open innovation process, technical and non-technical innovations are prioritized by value creation at the system level. Value is pattern-based. However, cost and income cannot be ignored. Cost and income estimates for multiple scenarios should act as add-on patterns. In step 2, innovators are educated and coached in the relevant high-impact lessons learned, root causes, and laws of nature. Next, innovators are coached to make a first go, no-go decision by themselves. Why this is important? It's the first step to separating those innovations positioned for being executable from those insufficiently thought through. The go decision, representatives of the groups involved, and when it would reduce the risk of failure substantially, representatives of the groups impacted create a solution framework together. They decide together whether the solution framework is executable and the funding need is adequate. And yes, steps 2 to 4 need to be funded somehow. Since these steps reduce the risk and firefighting substantially, it is in the interest of funders to provide the needed funds. In step 5, funding is made available. This happens immediately when the innovation is of the highest impact and is what used to be called a no-brainer. Otherwise, it is made available at a set date by highest priority and after the budget is exhausted. Of course, guiding this process and coaching innovators is primarily done by individuals with the skill set for solving complex matters and out-of-the-box innovation experiences. And by the way, adding steps 2 to 4 to exact innovation processes is bound to free that 30% from today's innovation budgets. Again, it is time for guiding questions. For innovators, researchers, funders, and those responsible for operating innovation processes. Is everyone educated in relevant lessons learned, root causes of the highest damage and associated solutions, relevant laws of nature and practices they demand, Einstein-Newton-Darwin practices, and the problem-solving practices of individuals like Steve Jobs and Jacinda Ardern? Exact versus open innovation processes. Are the innovators coached to make a go-no-go decision themselves? Have the representatives of the groups involved concluded together that the identified solution framework is executable and the funding is adequate? And for funders, are there separate budgets, one for the exact and one for the open innovation process? Thank you. In the next section, we will do a quick experiment to identify the consequences of applying exact research models to complex matters and propose an innovative, law of nature-based research model for complex matters.